In this episode of Banished with Red Ketchup's Editor's Choice and DS Mods, we're going to go over what I've been doing offline, some of the improvements I've made, and take a look at the new town area. And we're starting right now.
Welcome to the Double E Show. Bad strategy, horribly simulated.
What's going on, everybody? Ep17 back with the Double E Show. It's Banished Wednesday with Red Ketchup's Editor's Choice and Discrepancies DS Mods. So if you have noticed over here, we might have had a little jump and pop since the last episode. I came in to do some work in the new town area, and before I knew it, I was hurting for food and had a bunch of peeps. People like it here in Thompson's holler. And yeah, so let me show you a little bit of what I did while we were offline. So I added in the cranberry bog for some more food because we needed it. But coming down here, I took out some of the excess red ketchup dock that I had up, onto the to the discrepancy platform areas and stuff like that. Just cleaned it up a bit is basically what I did. Now, coming down through, I did eventually start to gather enough stone that I was able to upgrade the stone docks from the town hall on the water all the way over to the end. And that was my plan, was just to do that portion of dock and have wood dock from there on down. It looks pretty good. It's not too bad of a match with what Discrepancy has for their coloring. It looks really good with Discrepancy's buildings. Very, very good. Very nice. Very nice. I got all my stay dry corners in, so when they come out of a building and they round the corner, they don't drop off and come back up. I hate that. Drives me nuts. So I make sure that I put those in. Yeah, so there's our stone dock, and as you can see, I got rid of the piece of dock that came up onto the sidewalk here, and just put in sidewalk because that's what goes on the sides of the sidewalk. Now, before we go any further, a couple things I want to do here real quick. I'm going to come in here, here, and here, and we're going to throw some coverings on. And bloop, there we go. Okay, so that's covered. That was bugging me for a while, and I just didn't get around to it. So, as you can see, everything is looking really sharp over here. We have all the new row housing in, which looks beautiful, especially in the little courtyards in the center that I put in. Very lovely, very lovely. And I added some flavor to the backyards. Some of the stuff I may have covered before, but just going over it as a whole right now. Got some seating area here by the water's edge. I did put in some covers over the stock areas there. I added in a second tailor to just make the linen from the flax, and then the previous tailor is just making hide coats from the linen. I threw in an extra sturge barn because we needed sturge space, and again covered the stockpile. Now, coming over, I did complete the second bridge here. Let's come on over into our farm area. How's this one doing? Not too bad. Just fodder in there. Good. Good. We got water coming out of here by the bucket loads. Right on. Okay, so I can't seem to keep the mutton coming in enough to make my lamb chops. Granted, I only have the 4, and they're not producing a lot, but they do produce, and, it should be in there. And if I take a quick, well, I'm not going to look at my inventory yet. I'm going to wait because I want to show you what's new. But here's our farm area. I put in a couple of small crop fields of cherries, or orchards, of cherries, And they're not getting a bunch, but they're getting what I need for the purpose of having the cherries go in. Right? Right. So here's our little housing area. Kind of overgrown. I could stand to put a forester over here. Clean this up a bit. They're kind of getting hidden. And then got another cherry orchard over here. And again, just a couple hundred a season. Yeah. Now, I got the pasture over here. I did open up the third pasture over here. So everybody's got their biff cows. And they're getting slaughtered. And then I put in a smoker. An old smoky. And I put them in because I wanted to extend the use of the meat. So you get 18 to 24 smoked meat from 12 beef and 1 firewood. That works out pretty good. So you're almost doubling. You're a third more to doubling your biff output. And put a little meat locker over here so they'd have a place to store stuff. And it goes really good with the smokery, which is nice. And I got chickens. So I wanted to get some chickens in because we needed another source of meat and food. And now we are getting eggs and chicken. So, which is really good because these guys will produce like crazy. Right now there's 19 of 19. I can cull that down as needed. Let me come in here to roads, stone. Yep, stone road. We're going to go big blocks here. I'm going to bring it over here. And I'm going to bring it down the middle. Right to there. And everybody should be living and working over here. So, let's just double check that real quick. Come in here. You. Living and working. Living and working. That's a pretty good trip. Living and working, well, again, not sure what you're thinking about. And living and working. Oh, you're coming over the bridge, that stinks. Living and working. You're coming over the bridge, that stinks. Right on. And then you're right there. I got my bees making candle wax and making honey, which is important. I just clicked on a person. All right. Water tower, yeah, you're close. That's the perfumery, if I'm not mistaken. It's his. And how are you doing? You're pumping them out. One of you pumping them out. Very good. Right on. Okay, back to checking the statuses here. There you go. That's the way it should be. And how about the school teacher? Living right there. Very nice. Very nice. Got my little forest setting down here. Wonder, might come in. I don't know if I can. Let's go grass roads. Are these ghosted? They are. And then come in here. I've got a lot of extra decoration, which is really not good because it's starting to drag a little bit on the old computer. There we go. We're gonna put a spruce in there. Yeah, because I have so many additional assets that are not necessary. Yeah, it is what it is. So now let's come this way. And we're going to zoom in over here. Now that's the farmland. Let's come down this way. And we are going to check out. Look at the throng of people. The entrance into the town area. I had to throw in another brick maker and charcoal maker. Because I needed so many bricks and roof tiles that I couldn't tax just the one to make them both. So I added in a secondary one right down here. And it's not too far from the clay, which is nice because that's what it needs, is clay to make those bricks. And yeah. So heading over the bridge, we have a really nice burgeoning town. You can see it here. We're going to draw back a little bit. I mean, look at it. It looks really nice. Now, I do have some bare spots because I haven't put in all the housing that I need yet. But that's because I've been playing balancing act with the food. So these first couple houses, well, first of all, I got a nice little sign there. These first couple houses here, we're going to take a moment and we're actually going to dress them up. I put the lamps in the backyard, but I don't have any tables. So I'm going to come in here. And if I unpause, boop, they pop up. And it gives it a little bit of an organic feel, which I like. Now we have a no clothesline rule here in the Thompson's Hollow town proper. So no clotheslines in between the buildings. That you will not see. But let's come up the main road here. And as we turn, let's turn right first. So I'm working on some buildings down here. One of which is the tailor. I had a really difficult time with the original layout, going 10 by 10s. They just didn't quite fit. So if you place these corner buildings right against the edge of these roads, it creates a god-awful lump in the road, and it actually ruins the texture. So you have to set them one back on all sides from the road, which means I had to redo the layout and stretch it a little bit, make it a little bit longer. But overall, it works. Down here, we've got a multi-story with an old person, multi-story with a couple old people. Now, I only did 2 stories here, nothing major. Coming down this way, again, as I said, I got the tailor going in here with a second story going in up above. And then these are just more second story homes. I have a barn over here as a first story with a second story home up above. And then on this corner, I have a multi-story first floor. I could not get the second floor on because they don't fit right, and I'll show you what I mean. So we come in here, we go housing, we go second story, we go brick. These are the corner ones. This would be a second story. Let's move the tailor. This would be the second story. And as you can see, it doesn't fit there. And if I placed it there without the road, where it would kind of fit, it would create this ugly bump out. And if I put it like that, it's all blocked off. So, minor issue. Right? Now down here we have the apothecary making healing potions, and they're pumping them out, which is good because our stored medicine is up to 830, and it was dipping down into the hundreds and the lower. So, again, same issue with the corner buildings. Here's my bakery, making bread, but I got nothing making flour just yet. So I got to work towards that. In fact, let me write that down. So I want to flour production for bread. Yeah, because I can make a bunch of bread. I can make 20 to 28 bread from just 14 flour, and you get a ton of flour from corn and those of that like. There you go. I mean, very, very adorable housing. Looking really sharp. We're going to come down this way. I got another storage barn over this way. I don't think it looks bad with the different stuff, the different sized buildings and whatnot. I mean, some of them look awkward with the wraparound porch anyways. And in here we got the tavern, and this is what I wanted the cherries for. So they're making alcohol out of cherries. I was having them make an ale out of What was I having to make ale out of? Ale out of blueberry or blackberry, maybe. I think I got blackberry somewhere. Yeah. No, never mind. Anyway, so no, that's what it was. I was having them make wine out of blackberries for just a little bit. So we got that coming over here. All right, we're going to come this way. We have the library, which acts as a school, right there on the corner. And I'm going to finish that off with some schoolyard type items. And then we're back down here near the beginning. Now, if I scroll up a little bit here, our first signpost shows coming down this way. We have, close this down, the church. So I put in the nice grand church, the stock church from Banished, because he cleaned it up so nicely. These peaks, and it's just gorgeous. And then what I did was I put in outside benching. In case we have a particularly warm day and the church gets hot, we can hold service in the yard. And then I just put a bunch of grass around the outside. I put a bunch of flowers in, prettied it up, put a couple of decorative, dang it, I can't click on it, decorative maples. Out back here, I got a decorative birch or 2 or 4. And then I put in the cemetery over here, and she's a full. It's the only cemetery I have. I didn't realize that I did not have a cemetery heretofore. So I was surprised that people were staying as happy as they were, because, you know, we've had loved ones dying off for going on 45 years before I get the cemetery in. Again, we're in year 50, by the way. So anyways, so I threw a couple of trees around the cemetery, and they don't seem to be interfering with the tombstones, which is great, because it was random luck that I managed to put them in around them. That being said, let's come on into the new town hall. That's this guy right here. This is the Bug Standard Town Hall that I put in, but Red Ketchup cleaned it up very nicely. I need to come in here, flowers, because it's summertime. Click on that, and we are going to put in so in here, I have a couple of blackberry patches. Not producing a ton, but they are producing something. And when we're low on cherries, I like to take the still, the tavern, and have them make the blackberry wine, which I'm going to grab right now. And you will make, I'm going to pause again, blackberry wine. Because if I look in here, I should have, well, I don't have, there goes a really loud truck. I should have blackberries, but I don't. And cherries, hello, cherries. I've got 15 cherries. All right, so we're just going to leave it on cherries. Where are you? Right there. We're just going to leave it on cherries. Going to let it go. Do your thing. You do you. Okay, so this is the R. Thompson Hollows town proper. Incomplete, but still growing, because I got a lot of homes I got to put in. So let's cover that right now. So this is the main thoroughfare going through, which is why the color difference is there. Now, what is going on down here? Oh, that's right. I'm removing that. So I put in some greenhouses, again, for food production. And this is right at the outskirt of the main downtown area. So I'm also putting in a couple of stables and a barn. We're getting towards the outskirt, more towards the industrial downtown area. So let's look at the stats. We are currently at 535 citizens, 222 families, 166 homes. Desperate need of homes. I'm also in desperate need of food. All right, we're producing 21.6, we're eating 29.1. I've been buying food from my traders left and right. In fact, that's mainly where all of my production has gone, is into food. Logs, firewood, charcoal, perfume, whatever I can, gold bars, silver bars, selling them like crazy. We have 63 students. That's 87 children, 80% clothed, because I'm working on the clothing issue, but I haven't got a grasp on it yet. And what is it? It's crafted items. Very cool. And 91% educated. So that's not too bad. Now, tools. We were up to the 900 limit, and we keep dipping down low. Now, I did start making copper alloy tools, and you can see we have 400 of them. But copper ore is low, and copper ore is low, and we have plenty of iron. So I might have to switch them back to iron tools, which we're down to 168. So if I come in here and I go blacksmith, if I go, there's 13 jobs. So there's foundry making iron from iron ore. Yeah. Okay. There's a foundry making copper from copper ore. There's a blacksmith in there making copper alloy tools. Right? That's 2 blacksmiths in there doing it. There's a blacksmith there making copper alloy tools. I'm going to have... There we go. Okay. That could be why we're down too, because we were shy. I don't know why. I have tons of laborers. Nobody's losing out when they die. This one's making iron from iron ore, right? This... Oh, there it is. He's making gold from gold ore. And he needs 2 gold and 3 charcoal. And right now he's got 1 gold. Let's look at inventory real quick. We're going to look at gold ore. None. Let's go down here to silver ore. 4. It's rugged. Is that the random quarry? What are you pulling out? Got a lot of gems and stuff, don't you? Got a bunch of copper ore. Right on. So you're not hurting for getting the copper ore. You're just slow at it. Okay. So I've got 6 people in there doing stone. I've got 6 people in there doing stone. And you can do stone, coal, or salt. I'm going to build up my stone reserves a little bit, and then I'm going to switch this over to coal. I got 2 people in there doing iron ore. Right? Is that another random query? It is. I'm going to go back to this one, and I'm going to put 1, 2, 1, 2. I really... Oh, back down. 7,500. I really want to get a good amount of all these gems and whatnot. So if we come through here to inventory, and we do items in storage, items in trading post, items in homes. Okay, if I just do items in trading posts, yeah, you can see our trading posts are, well, virtually empty. Huh. Incredible. Okay, so by name, let's go by quantity. We've got 14,000 fertilizer. We can almost stop producing fertilizer for a little while. But fertilizer, well, now that we have the greenhouses in, we'll start whipping through that. Fodder thatch, doing great. Cotton, bunches. In fact, Taylor, what can you do with cotton? You can make cloth out of cotton. So, We've got 2,100 flax and 2,800 cotton. So I'm going to have you come down to linen. This is all the micromanaging that goes on in Banished that you know, a lot of players don't necessarily show. Here we go. We're going to have him switch to cloth, making cloth from cotton, and I'm going to keep him making linen hide coats, and then I will switch him to cloth hide coats after. Yes, that is how that will work. Okay, so let's look at, we have anything that really stands out by quantity, huh? So if I come down to here, all right, so 2 copper, 4 silver ore, we got some wine, bricks, copper ore. I'm looking for the gems. I'm looking for the fancy stuff, because what I'd like to do is build the gem cutter and the jeweler and start making jewelry to trade. Well, I do have 129 silver bars though. Okay, so gems, right? So when I look in here, it has gems listed. Okay, so they're just listed as gems now, instead of rubies, amethysts, and all that other stuff. Got ya. That makes sense. So, back here, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We are going to come to the tailor. We're going to zoom in. And now, we are going to check out next week the new proper trading area. So, in next week's episode, we're going to cover the new proper trading area. We're going to see what we can stock it with so we can start to trade from there. We're going to look into housing in that area, as well as add additional housing in this area and more food production. So that's our biggest thing, is food right now. So, if you like what you're watching, hit that like and subscribe button. Down below, tell your family, tell your friends. If you have any suggestions as what you'd like to see me do here in our Thompson's Hollow, put them in the comments below, because I will read them. And with that, I will catch you next Wednesday for another episode of Banished with Red Ketchup's Editor's Choice and DS Trade Mods. Peace!
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, check out the playlist above, or watch what YouTube tells you to on the right. Oh yeah, and subscribe.